Hi, I'm Mike, one of the founders of MyAskAI, and I'm going to give you a demonstration as to how to use the insights and dashboard. So you can see here, we've just logged into our own account, and immediately you can see that we've got some stats that we're showing. So we've got 3 core stats that you see here, and you'll see one extra, which I'll talk about in a second. The first one we've got is the AI resolve statistic. So this basically shows you how many conversations your AI assistant has had in the last 30 days that were resolved by the AI assistant. Now, when we say resolved, what we mean is that the user did not require handing over to a human in order to resolve their conversation. And so this basically shows us that 90% or 9 out of 10 conversations were handled completely by AI without any intervention required from us. The next stat we've got is the public conversations. So these are all the conversations had by the AI assistant with external facing users. So this doesn't include any chats that have been had with your AI assistant through chat or through Slack or Teams conversations. Then finally, we've got the time saved metric. Now, this is effectively a consequence of the 2 former metrics. So it says, of the 629 conversations, if 90% were solved by AI, and if it would have taken you 5 minutes to resolve each conversation, how many hours have you saved in the last 30 days? So you can see, again, this is for our own Ask AI. We've saved 47 hours of conversations in the last 30 days. Now, the only additional metric that you might see is the lead capture metric. So if you've got lead capture turned on, which you can see in another video, then you'll see the number of leads that have been collected as well. Just underneath where all these metrics are, we see this section here. Now, this is essentially telling us what the top topic is that's been discussed with your AI assistant. So what happens every time a conversation takes place with your AI assistant, we break that down into individual topics. So one conversation could have multiple topics because people ask different questions about different things in one conversation. We split them all up. We then record them. We use the AI to then generate a title for each topic and a summary of the topic. Then we group them. So every conversation or every topic is then grouped across different conversations. So you can identify what are the common topics that are coming up so you can address them. We group them and we show them visibly every 3 conversations. So if there have been 3 conversations where that topic has arisen, and it will come up into this list. Or if you click the View All button, then you can see every single topic that has been raised. But given a lot of them are going to be long tail topics, or you might have closed or hidden some of those topics, we're just going to view the open ones for now. So when we see the open topics, we can see a list of them here. We can scroll down through them. They're also categorized, so they'll be categorized into whether they're a suggested question. So obviously, if you have a suggested question in your AI assistant, then that's probably more likely to be asked than other questions. And so we flag these. So if you want, you can then hide them because you're probably not going to get as much data from those conversations and they're going to skew your information. The next category is questions. We also have bugs and feedback as category. And again, all of this categorization is done with the AI automatically. Then the next metric we've got is the number of conversations that have been had. So these are the number of conversations on each topic. And again, you can see the % AI resolved of each of those topics and the days that these have been open. Now, how you can use this is you can see which are the common topics that are coming up that the AI is struggling to resolve. So for instance, we can see here that this topic in particular has a pretty low AI resolve rate. Now that could be because it's something that AI assistant can't handle. Maybe it's users requiring a refund, or it might be where we haven't given sufficient information to the AI assistant in order to answer the question. And so we can beef up the documentation around that. We can add some custom answers, which I'll explain in another video. Now, the headline kind of topic we have here is basically taking the very top topic we've got and kind of summarizing that for you. So you can quickly see what is the top issue that your AI assistant is having to deal with. And so you can see that there. If we now jump into one of these, so if we jump into the top one, we then get a detailed view that shows us things like all of the underlying conversations. So we can see every conversation where this topic has arisen. And because it's a suggested question, it's going to come up quite a lot. So we have the title of the topic. We have a summary of the topic. And then we have a smart suggestion. So what the smart suggestion is that AI has looked at this issue that's come up, and then it's trying to come up with a way in which we can resolve this. So in this instance, it's just saying we should add some information to our documentation and some tutorials helping users resolve that issue. What we can then do is we can choose to mute and hide this. So if we're kind of happy with the level of documentation, we see the AI resolve rate is very high, we might want to mute and hide this. And we can do that also through using this mute button here. Or we can mark it as done. Marking it as done basically means that if someone in the future was to raise this issue after we've marked it as done, it will come up again. Whereas if it's muted, then it won't come up again. And so if you've resolved a bug or an issue, then you might want to start by marking it as done. So then you know that after you've deployed a fix, then it's only going to come up again if the issue has arisen again. Whereas if there's nothing more you can do with an issue, and it's just cluttering up your insights, then you can use the mute and hide button. The third option we've got here is to share a summary of this insight with your team. So what this will do is it will capture a summary of this page, and it will send that via email to the rest of your team, along with a link to this page. So now if we dive into actually one of the conversations itself. So each of these different rows represents a different conversation a user has had with the AI assistant. So if we click into one of these, again, we get a specific summary just on this conversation specifically. And we can see the actual conversation that was held with the AI. You see what the user asked, you see the answers given, you see the sources as well. If the user provided an email, then we would see the email here as well, and you'd see that as a lead captured. If you had the lead capture turned on, you would also see lead capture shown here. And also, again, you would be able to see this back on your topics page. So that is all of the features of Insights at the moment. The purpose of Insights is to ensure that you can improve your products, you can improve your documentation, you can understand what people are asking your AI assistant, what it's able to deal with, what it's struggling with, so you can improve it over time. You can increase that time saved. You can then focus on more customer success approaches and strategies for your business. So that's Insights. We're always working on it, always looking for improvements and feedback. So please, if you have any requests or ideas of how we can improve it to suit you, please share them. Always interested to know. Other than that, thanks a lot and enjoy using Insights.